Hey everyone and welcome back. If you are new here then hello, my name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a product review and I haven't reviewed a product for such a long time, like not a proper dedicated video towards one thing. And if you saw in my latest video, I did do a little bit of shopping and I have got quite a few things. I have already done another order as well, which is a little bit naughty, but I'm enjoying testing new products and I thought if I'm going to test them then I might as well share my testing with you guys. So today I'm going to be reviewing this, which is the Nars Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This isn't a particularly new product, but it's new to me. I've seen so many people using this on like Instagram and things like that. So this is what the foundation looks like. It's in a glass bottle and it's got a nice pump out applicator. I do like the packaging. It feels really strong and sturdy, which I would expect for a higher end foundation. It does retail for about £35, so it is a little bit more expensive, but again I think a lot of high-end foundations are sort of in the £30 to £35 mark at the moment. The shade that I'm going to be using today is Fiji. So I'll also just read what it says on the back of the box. It says, meet Nars' first longwear foundation that looks stronger, stays longer, with skin recognition pigments for the truest colour match and 16 hours of wear, featuring Nars' skin optimizing complex raspberry, apple and watermelon extracts for smoother, healthier looking skin. So that all sounds really good. It says instructions for use: shake well, apply a small amount starting in the centre and blend outwards. So before we start by applying it, I have actually used this a couple of times already for tutorials, but I haven't properly tested like the longevity and things like that because I've literally just applied it quickly for a makeup tutorial and taken it straight off. So I don't really know much about it, even though I have tried it a couple of times. So today I'm going to really concentrate on my skin and applying it. I'm going to leave it on for as long as possible and then come back later on and we'll see what it looks like. I've never tried a Nars product before, I don't think. Definitely not tried a Nars foundation, but I have heard really good things about it. The main reason for me wanting to try this is because if I do like it, I want to introduce it into my pro kit. So even though it does say it's a radiant foundation, it says it's a natural radiant foundation, so I'm guessing it's not going to be like too glowy. The couple of times that I have tried it, it hasn't been that glowy. So if it is not too much, then I know that I can use it on all types of skin. So skin wise, I've cleansed and moisturised this morning just with my usual cleanser and moisturiser, and then I am going to apply just a tiny bit of primer. So this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer, and literally I mean like half a pump like that. I don't always wear a primer, but I do like this primer. I'm going to rub it in the middle of my hands first. I'm only going to apply it here down the sides of my nose and onto my cheeks, and then just a tiny bit on my chin, just in them areas, because I do feel like I have got bigger pores recently, I don't know why. But I'm going to go for a nice full flawless coverage today. I'm going to actually use two different things to apply my foundation today. I'm going to use a brush and a sponge because I am finding lately if I do want to build up the coverage a bit more, I apply it with a brush and then I go over and apply a little bit more with a sponge after. I just feel like I can build up the coverage a bit better that way. So I'm going to first take my brush, and it does say to start from the centre and work your way out, which I always tend to do, to be honest, because I always need the most coverage here and then the less coverage as I work out. So I'm literally just stippling it on. This brush is really soft, so it's not spiky at all, and I find it does build up the coverage really nice with any foundation really, but I always have to go over with my beauty blender or beauty sponge after. So you can see already that that is a really nice coverage. I'd say that that is a good medium, and that is just one layer, which I am finding using the brush first is really helping me at the moment build the coverage up instead of applying it all with a beauty blender. The colour match is really nice as well. I haven't been tanning just recently, so I am a little bit more fair at the moment, and I always find it hard to match myself when I'm more fair than when I'm more tan. Okay, so I've only applied the foundation from here down. I've used 3 pumps using just the brush to stipple it on. and I'm happy with the coverage. I am going to apply a little bit more to build it up. It's a good medium coverage at the moment. It is what it says, it is a natural radiant foundation. It's not too glowy. I do think this would be quite a universal foundation that kind of suits everybody's skin. If you're a bit more oily, you might just have to set it a little bit more. I do really like the finish. I will have to set it because obviously it will be a bit too tacky, but because I am more dry, it is comfortable on the skin and I can choose how much I want to set it. Whereas with matte foundations, they just dry like straight away on me and then all my texture starts showing through. So if you are a bit more oily, you might just have to set this a little bit more with your powders than you would with a matte, completely matte foundation. But this isn't like too radiant and too glowy that I wouldn't use it on somebody with oily skin. The consistency of it, I'll just put it on the back of my hand, is quite thick really, so it's not running anywhere. But I am finding I am having to use like quite a few pumps of it. So I've already used 5 pumps just with using this. I'll show you how much comes out with 1 pump. That bit there. And I've used 5 of them to cover my whole face. And that's just 1 layer. I do really like the coverage, but I felt like I've had to use quite a bit there. So I can happily leave that there as a medium coverage. You can see it's not too glowy. It's just kind of picking up the light where the light is hitting my face, like on the high points of my face. So I'm going to go over with my beauty blender now. I'm not going to need all this. I'm just going to just tap the extra product into my skin. I'm just going to go over the top with just 1 more sheer layer. So this is going to be 2 layers of the foundation, even though I've had to use quite a few pumps of it. And maybe it's just the pump doesn't pump out as much product as some other foundations do, because on other foundations I find that I can just do like 1 to 2 pumps and that will cover my whole face. So I'm really blending it over, really pushing it into the skin. The more that you blend your foundation into the skin, the longer it's going to last. It's not just going to sit on top. So when I'm doing something a bit more full coverage, I do like to work on really patting it in. The coverage is amazing. I absolutely love the coverage. Okay, so that's just 2 layers of the foundation. Absolutely love the coverage, really like the finish. It is a very natural finish. And my skin does look really flawless as well, which I'm really happy with. So I'm going to carry on with my cream products to see how they blend over the top. I'm going to start with my concealer first. So I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape today. I'm going to mix together light, medium sand and light sand. So I'm going to pop a little bit of that just there. And then I'm using light sand just to highlight a little bit more. So I'll just pop a little bit of light sand in with that. And then just sharpen up my eyeshadow a little bit, and then I'm going to just do a little bit down the centre of my face like I usually would. And then I'm using the same side as I've applied the foundation to blend in my concealer, because I always feel like it blends in better that way. And I always leave my under eyes till last as well. This is blending really nice over the top. It's not pulling up any of the product underneath, which is nice. My under eyes are really red at the moment because I always suffer with eczema around my eyes. If you do as well, then please let me know what you use, because I struggle with what to use around my eyes when they're really sore. If you've got any home remedies, then please let me know. Okay, that's nice. I'm really happy with that. I'm going to do a cream contour as well. I'm going to use my Morphe contour stick, which I am obsessed with at the moment. So this I'm just going to draw straight on where I usually apply my contour. On the sides of my nose. Just in them areas really. I have ordered some new fake tan, so I am going to start tanning I think next week, because I feel like I'm blending into my background a little bit. I shouldn't have put this top on either, to be fair, that hasn't helped. So to blend that out, I'm going to use a little buffer brush. So this is the contour brush from Real Techniques. So I am going to buff this in. I really do like this contour stick because it is very blendable and it's blending into the foundation really nicely. Again, it's not really disturbing what's underneath. And my roots are so bad as well. If anyone else has got lockdown hair, then please let me know, because mine is just the worst. I hope it's not long until hairdressers are open again and then I won't have massive roots like I've got now. Okay, so that's added a little bit more definition, which is nice. So that's all the creams that I'm going to be using today, and they've all blended lovely over the top. It's not disturbed the foundation, it hasn't pulled it up or moved it around or anything. They've all blended in really nicely together. I really do love the finish of this. Now we can think about setting this in place. So because I am more dry, usually even with a full coverage foundation, I only set the centre of my face and then I leave like my bronzing powders and my blush and things like that to kind of set the outer perimeter, because I don't find I need that much powder. If you are more oily and you're wearing a foundation like this, you might just need to go over with a full face setting powder, like a pressed powder or something, just to take the tackiness away. So for setting powder, I'm going to use the RCMA No Colour powder. I really like this and it lasts forever as well. This, and I like the Ben Nye powders and the Laura Mercier translucent powder as well. They're my favourites. Today I'm going to use this. So that's how much powder I'm using. And I'm going to do my under eye first before they start creasing, and I just bring it down just on the top of my cheek there and then just underneath my eye, just to matten it down a bit. It just takes the shine away there, whereas I don't mind being a bit more glowy on the tops of my cheeks, but I don't like being too shiny there. So again, about that much powder. I use just enough to kind of take the tackiness away, really. Take a little bit on my chin, because even though I am dry, my chin always becomes a little bit shiny throughout the day. And then I do a little bit around my nose. And then just in the centre of my forehead there. So I'm going to use for bronzer, actually not use this yet, but this is also something new that I've bought. It's the Butter Bronzer, and it is in the shade Bronzer. I was so confused when I was showing it in my last video. But yeah, the actual shade is called Bronzer, and I'm also going to use the Real Techniques blush brush. So I'm going to start lightly because I'm not like that tan. So I'm just going to sweep this all over my cheeks. Smells just like the Hawaiian Tropic, like sun tanning stuff. So when I'm dusting my bronzer all over, that is kind of setting the foundation. Instead of me setting the foundation and then applying bronzer over the top, that can be too matte for me. And then I'm also going to apply a little bit more over the top. I like to use this from the Nip and Fab palette. I've used this on my eyes today. I'm going to use it as like a blusher slash bronzer on my cheeks just to warm them up a bit. I think it's really hard when you're a bit more like fairer skin tone to add definition and add like warmth without it looking a bit too much. And I'm always quite heavy handed with my bronzer, so I always have to try and stop myself from applying too much. Okay, so that's applied again really nice over the top. I'm going to apply a little bit of blusher. This is Illamasqua's Lover. Okay, and then I'm also going to apply just a tiny bit of highlight. This is Laura Gella's Gilded Honey. I will leave as well all the extra products that I've used down in the description. Just a little bit, not too much. And then I am just going to use a little bit of powder just to tidy up my bronzer here, because I feel like I've applied it a little bit too low. Okay, then last but not least, I'm just going to apply a lip colour. This is Coffee and Kissy by Morphe. Okay, then I'm going to apply this liquid lip. This is from Beauty Boulevard and it's in the shade Remedy. Okay, and then I would usually apply a setting spray, but I want to see how the foundation works throughout the day today, so I'm not going to apply a setting spray. So first impressions, I really like the coverage, I really like how it applied. It's not too glowy, so I think it is quite universal for like any sort of skin types. My creams blended really nice over the top, and also did my powders as well. They didn't like pull anything up or move the foundation. Everything just kind of stayed where it's supposed to. I will also insert a little clip of my skin in natural daylight as well, just so you can see that too, because obviously I have to use a light for my videos, so I'll let you see what it looks like off my phone camera in natural light as well. It's a nice little coverage, but it doesn't look too heavy and it doesn't feel too cakey either, which I'm really happy with. So I'm going to leave this on for as long as I possibly can, and I'm just going to go through my day-to-day routine, which actually isn't that much, but I'm going to try and get a few bits done today. And then I'm going to come back to you a bit later on and we will see how it's lasted. Hey guys, I'm finally back. It's been a good 8 hours since I last spoke to you. I hope the lighting's okay because it's gone quite dark outside now. But this foundation's held up so well today. I will admit I haven't had the busiest day, if I'm totally honest, but I'm really happy with how the foundation has held. You will be able to see, hopefully on the camera, I have become quite shiny on my chin area and on my forehead, so next time I'm going to wear this for a long time, I will apply a little bit more powder, maybe bake down the centre of my face, because my chin especially has become quite oily. Everywhere else, to be honest, doesn't feel tacky at all, so the little powder that I did use around the perimeter did set it in place. Around my nose, that has come off a little bit, so that's worn away throughout the day, but for a good 8 hours I don't really mind that, to be honest. So overall I'm really happy. I'm looking forward to wearing this a lot more now. I think for if I was wearing this for a longer time or for a night out, I'd definitely apply a little bit more powder, so if you are more oily, definitely set this, maybe even bake, just to make sure that it stays in place. But everywhere else just hasn't budged all day, and my bronzers and blusher and everything hasn't really worn off either, which is really nice. Yeah, I am super pleased with that. I'm going to use it a little bit more before I fully decide whether to put it in my kit or not, but so far it's looking good. I may have a little newbie to add to the collection. So I really hope you did enjoy today's video. Let me know if you did down in the comments, and also let me know what other products you want me to review and test out. Please give it a big thumbs up as well if you did enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe as well, and I will see you next week in my next one. Bye!